Hey ladies, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm good. So, when we were on the phone, you said to me that you needed to come down here to make sure that everybody knew. So, I also know there's a level of intimidation when there's too many people all standing around. So, I figured you'd come with your vests or whatever. So, I thought I'd help you. And I brought a camera crew so we can hear it. And everybody can hear it and clearly.
Right, yeah.
So, tell me what you need to tell me.
So as Wendy mentioned yesterday, right, we bring the message, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, and we've always been open about that. So at this point, CN has made us aware that as the complainant, they are willing to not have the OPP investigate any criminal charges as long as the site, everything from the site is cleared out by the end of today. So that would mean everything. Structures, vehicles, equipment, items, people would have to be clear from the site by 11:59 tonight for that offer to stand that they provided you last week or your community last week.
So let me clarify. So it's the offer of what was written on that paper, right? Not just what you just said, but all of the other terms that are associated with that paper that they sent last week.
Yes, that letter will be valid today until 11:59 tonight.
Right. So that one's the one that says like, and no one ever returned to the tracks, and it's got a bunch of other conditions on it.
Okay. Well, I did bring a gentleman from CN. He was down here, I think, early on. Scott McCallum. He's one of the inspectors, a shorter man. He can certainly clarify that we can certainly confirm that that's the intent of the message, or if it's just the portion that I'm telling you today.
Well, what do you want? You're the one carrying the message, and the decisions are going to be made based on what your words are.
Okay. So we have not seen the letter. Mm-hmm. They have said that they're willing to stand by that letter up until midnight today. I can certainly bring Scott up, and he can clarify that for you if you want. But we didn't want to bring him up here without asking first. So.
Does he have a copy of it with him?
I don't know.
It would be helpful if he brought it and read it.
Okay.
I can ask him. I don't think he does. And the only thing that I saw was the email saying, yes, we will extend that offer that from the piece of paper that they gave you until midnight. But I don't think he has a piece of paper, but I can certainly ask him.
Yeah, let's ask him. Then that way it's fully clear, right? Because right now that's not entirely clear.
Okay. And I guess the other thing was, I know you wanted a meeting with the Attorney General.
Well, and hold on. I specifically asked you to speak with the commissioner or OPP commissioner or whoever was high enough up to assist in a meeting to be held with the federal government, particularly the Minister of Indian Affairs, and then the Ontario's, whoever needs to be from Ontario to be able to instruct you guys, the OPP. And I never even thought of it. You're only bringing it up now. It wasn't mentioned in our meeting that CN would have to be involved as well. Somebody to give them have some control over them, so that we could have a meeting as requested by Prime Minister that Aboriginal leaders take steps to figure out a solution. And so we've reached out and said, okay, well, in an offer, a good faith, let's get an exit plan together so that it can be speedy. If in fact the RCMP are going to hold true to what they said and they're going to remove themselves, that we can be prepared and that we can do it in a safe and manner. So I just want to clarify that was what was the request.
Yes.
And so you had told me on the phone that the OPP are not going to attend a meeting such as that, or the people above.
No, that's correct.
It can't be facilitated, no.
And the CN are not interested to participate in that sort of a discussion either.
I don't think we can speak for CN. We can't talk. We can only talk about, we have the officer here, the chief of police, but I don't even know if he could answer to that, if they would be willing to sit down to have a meeting with you.
Well, no, it's not just me. It's the people, and there was a meeting to be collected because your guys' system doesn't allow the federal government and the provincial government to be talking with each other because of the Upperwash report when you guys shot one of us before. This is even worse, guys. This is worse. This isn't better.
And like I said, we're bringing to you what was offered for us to bring. Is that offer from CN? I know it's not what you wanted to hear, and the OPP is not in a position to be part of that meeting. They wouldn't be part of that meeting with the Governor General or the federal.
Does that mean that if that meeting occurred, then that and a decision came to and a solution came to that the OPP would not work with that? Like, I'm trying to find a solution. Like, if we have peace talks and we have a meeting, we have an exit strategy plan, are you saying that the OPP wouldn't adhere to that?
It wouldn't be a member of the OPP. It would likely be somebody from the Attorney General, from the justice system. I couldn't say for sure. That's not information that I would have. But the OPP, as officers, would not attend that.
And so I asked you because you're the interface to take that message to wherever it needed to go and up the chain to whoever that person was. So was that done, or did it get to stop at a certain point?
The decision is made through the command staff. So that would be the upper echelon through our incident commander, which is Inspector.
Who is that?
Now it's Inspector Springer.
Okay, and is he detached out of Napanee?
Right now, yes, he is.
Okay. Who's above him?
That would be the superintendent. His direct supervisor I could not name off the top of my head, though, Seth. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I think for clarity's sake, because you wanted to make everybody aware, maybe invite that fellow over and he can clarify. And hopefully he's got a copy of the offer so that people are aware of it. Because right now we're just talking about a paper, and it was never sent to anybody, was it?
It was delivered to somebody on site here, from what I
maybe
understood. He could probably tell you for sure.
I'm not aware that anything was delivered on site here.
Oh, I thought you mentioned it. Or that somebody
I'm not sure.
gave it. Yeah.
So I'm just curious about that.
We'll be able to confirm.
Beautiful day, isn't it?
Gorgeous.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Scott McCallum.
So I had a question, and they didn't have an answer. So, for simplicity's sake, and the ladies were like, "I want to make sure that everybody's aware." So I was like, "Well, I'll help. I'll bring a camera so everybody can know, right?" I try to be as best easygoing and helpful as possible. So I'm just curious. They were saying that the offer still stands. And what they had said was that the offer stands that if everybody clears out of here by 11 o'clock, then CN is not seeking to pursue any charges. And then they mentioned a paper, and I believe there was a paper that had CN had made an offer. There was a bunch of conditions attached to that. I was just clarifying if it was everybody clears out by midnight and I'll walk away from this, or is it the set of conditions that were on that paper, because they're different, and I just wanted to get some clarification just so that the people are aware, right?
Sure, absolutely.
I gotta hold it close just so that the audio is good.
So the offer is, if everyone vacates the property, CN's property tonight, that CN is not going to pursue charges.
Okay, and so the property that we are referring to as CN property is that like kind of like between the fence rail here and the fence rail there? Like, because there's a lease, right? And there's like an easement sort of thing? Is that including the easement?
I'm not sure where the actual property line is. I don't have those documents in front of me, but I would certainly say between the fence line, this total area here would totally need to be vacated. Certainly where your camp is set up, the trailer, the plow, the vehicles, and most important, the people. There should be no one around here. The roadway down there is a totally different thing, but certainly CN property, the crossing, the tracks, where the propane tanks are, currently where your camp's situated, we would like to see all that totally out of this area.
Okay. All right, that's good to know. Just trying to think of if there's anything else important to ask, because people are going to ask, and there's a way we got to solve, right? And so after that, I'm assuming there's going to be an inspection of the area.
Yeah, once CN resumes operation, once the area has been vacated and everyone is safe and sound out of this area, CN will certainly ensure that the tracks are safe to operate on for the safety of the railway operating crews and more importantly, the safety of the general community.
And so would it be wise then to have somebody from the community assist in that inspection so that it not come up later that there'll be accusation of damage or whatever, that it be documented? Is that a reasonable request or a thought to take in mind? I'm just concerned that there maybe we've had a number of incidents with, and please don't be offended, of maybe a little bit of lying on the CN's part, and so we want to be clear about that, because I know there's an injunction that said there was blockage on the train, and there hasn't ever been that. But that was part of the injunction evidence. So I'm just wondering if it would be agreeable that there'd be somebody as a what do you call that?
An observer.
Observer to ensure that when the inspection's done, that there would be a camera and someone there to be able to observe to actually see what's there.
Unfortunately, for liability and safety reasons, only authorized CN people can be on this property to do the repairs. So to have someone from the community, any community that's not properly trained to be on railway property, as the railway employees are doing their inspection, it's unsafe, and Transport Canada doesn't allow it, nor does CN's internal safety rules allow for that. But you can rest assured that the property will be properly inspected before anything operates, and if there are any repairs that need to be made, CN is very diligent in making those repairs. Safety is our number one core principle. So it's not necessarily that we're looking to, if something is wrong, to try and find out who did that. It's to properly repair it so there is no more damages and the community is safe and railway operations are safe.
So is it safe to say that CN will simply there'll be no more charges and it'll pass? There'll be no further follow up on it.
Well, pardon me. The offer is
the charges and so on.
If you vacate tonight, as Wendy and Nicole have mentioned, per the offer that was put in the original letter, CN is not looking to go down that avenue and pursue charges if you vacate the entire area tonight before midnight.
Okay, good to know. I don't know if there's anything else. You just have anything else to say?
That's it. Aside from the last part of the comment we had on the phone, just that if there is no vacate, like if there's still things here after come morning time, then the potential for those who've been involved since the beginning in February 6th, that there will be an investigation.
In the event that the people decide not to, because I mean, it's a decision people make freely, right, amongst themselves and all individually. Have a little bit different culture than yours. In the event that they decide not to vacate, what you said to me, and I want to clarify this, is that that the offer was that if it's not completely vacated, that whoever, let's say it stays blocked, that there'll be an investigation on everyone who had been there since the 8th.
Yes.
Okay, just want to clarify. That is what's put on the table.
Yes.
Okay, and I asked you for two other things. One is to watch the rocks at Whiskey Trench.
Yes, haven't had time yet. But I wrote it down. I
encourage you to do it as well.
The name again, sir?
Rocks at Whiskey Trench.
Okay.
And finally, there was a request for you to take some responsibility and to put out a public statement regarding vigilantism and what steps you'll take to ensure you're going to do your job on the issue. Because right now your silence is encouraging people to feel that they have the right to act in racism and to harm people. And I would ask you to take your responsibility, just like we're taking responsibility. Yes. And so I'm wondering if you're going to do that or not.
So we've sent that information to our communications portion, and then they make that decision on what information they send out through the media.
So you got no word back whether or not they're going to move forward and make a statement towards the vigilantes.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. I'm sure there's something else to ask, but I can't think of what it is.
If anything, you have my number, and if anything comes up or there's an issue or a question for clarification.
So you said something interesting, and I didn't know this, that if there were to be an exit strategy meeting to happen with the federal government, would CN be interested to attend that?
I can take that message back and...
So I thought they were carrying that to you as well yesterday when I asked them. I didn't know that you didn't hear that.
No, there's been a lot of messaging going back and forth. As I'm sure you can appreciate, the OPP have been very busy. But I can take your message back now that I've heard it from you, which I appreciate, and I can let...
Because what we were seeking to do was have an exit strategy, because the RCMP has said we're going to pull out with Wet'suwet'en Terror, but they haven't pulled out yet. So they said on Monday that they would provide a letter of itinerary as to their stages of how they're going to pull out. So I said, and the people had said to these ladies and to the federal government, in a offer of good approach. I can't think of the word how it was worded, but that we develop a exit strategy, a safe one, and a plan, and so that it's ready, and so that when Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs have agreed or have said that they've vacated, that we can pull away. Right, and so that was what we were seeking to achieve, and so these ladies are coming to say that hasn't been achieved in terms of willingness to have that meeting right now. But maybe if the federal government comes back with maybe they have, I don't know if it's the Minister of Justice or what would help to facilitate that, or does CN work independently?
Well, I can't speak for any organization.
I just don't know how the structure works, right?
What I can assure you is I can take your request back and share it with my chain of command, asking that you would like to know if CN would be interested in future meetings with you.
Well, no, about talking about this exit strategy. Because I hear what the offer is, but I don't know that I don't. It's an offer, and so we're still talking. This is a good thing, right?
Absolutely, dialogue is very important.
This is the first time we heard from you in a while.
Well, I think CN's come forward with a very sound and fair offer. I mean, they've thought about this. They've worked very hard, and we've asked the OPP to assist us, and hence delivering this message to you. Yeah. So that's really the only thing I can speak to is
totally
asking you to.
We're all messengers here for other people, right? Yeah, I get it. 100% get it. Okay, well, you guys have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Pat the tracks all the way around.